Hey guys, you might notice I'm a little bit more orange than last video because I put spray tan on my face, as I've shown you before. So tomorrow I'm going to meet with some agents and so on about trying to get representation as an actor. I couldn't go in there with my hair gap as bad as it was, so I pulled it off, peeled off the plastic, the glue off the plastic, which is very easy with poly. Just cleaned up the glue that was on my forehead and then had a shower and then glued it back down using the same piece, and then the piece had to be pushed back up a little bit to match up with the gap that I'd filled in. I've made a video before called Favour the Overhang, and I realised now what I meant, because at the time I just thought, you know, with poly, which is a straight sheer line of plastic, and your hair perimeter, which is hairs that are natural looking, the most you can ever achieve is that. And so these gaps in here sort of show a gappage, even if it's perfect, right? You don't want a gap that's bad, and overhang would seem bad, and perfect would seem right. But a bit of overhang actually helps hide some of these gaps in here. So even though there could be a bit of a problem with footage, it's first of all going to conceal those natural plastic lines on any gaps, but also aiming for an overhang often results in perfect. For some reason it sort of stretches back, or because you can't see or feel it properly, it misses and comes back a bit. Potentially this would be different if somebody was looking down at your head and doing it properly in a salon or something, but if you're doing it yourself, getting that feel of trying to get just a little bit of an overhang can sometimes result in it actually landing properly. So this was six inches long the other day, right? And I cut it, and then because I just didn't want to have that really brushed back look. I felt it was looking very plasticky and fake, much like my spray on tan at the moment. But by tomorrow, after another shower or so, I think it'll fade a bit more. I'll still be a bit tanned like I am now, but I think this is good because it hides any kind of dark lines or anything like that. It's not the same as my arms and hands and stuff, as you can see. That's how white I would have been in my face before, but it's not unexpected that somebody's going to have maybe a bit of a darker face than arms and stuff. I don't know, maybe I'm wrong. So what I'm going to do now is put in some hair product, and it seems like everybody's very concerned, most of all, with the front hairline. As you can see now, if I were just to leave it as it is, just coming out of the shower and letting it dry naturally like it has now, with no product at all right now, okay? There's no product in it. It's a tiny bit damp still, but mostly it's just nothing's in it. I could put some leave-in conditioner in there maybe, and it'll just eliminate some frizz. And I could walk around a bit like this all day, which is not completely bad. The hair length is currently midway down my nose, or just to the top of the bridge of my nose. At any rate, I'm going to put some muck in it so I can force a style. And just remember, when you are styling your hairpiece, you're also styling the rest of your hair. Think of it as one thing. When you put your hairpiece on, now it's just part of your hair. Don't just style your hairpiece, that would be a bit silly. Often it looks like that in my videos because I'm just trying to fit it, and then so the hairpiece might be wet and the rest of my hair might be dry or something, so during that transition period it was silly. Okay, so I'm giving you a close-up while I'm leaning forward into the sink. I can't focus that iPhone any better than it is. I might as well tell you every video which type of hairpiece I'm wearing and where I got it from. So this is a 0.03mm S22 unit from lordhair.com that has, they advertise it can only last for a month because it's so thin, but I've shown you me wearing it for about 5 weeks in the past. And it was still in good condition apart from the hairs that were starting to fall out along the front hairline. The poly didn't really break or anything, it was fine. So I'd say those 0.03mm S22 units from lordhair.com will last probably 2 months, 3 months. And so you can buy them from lordhair.com and save 20% on the price of a 3-pack or a 6-pack using my coupon code StickOnHair. People have said go to toplace.com or hollywoodlace.com. Nobody's really recommending hairdirect.com, which is where I started in the very beginning because it had lots of ads on the internet. But I found those guys used clothing dye and I could never bleach the knots, which would take 8 weeks to send and get back to me and they'd still be unbleached. And so when I complained, they were rude to me and I thought, fuck this guy, I'm just going to go find somebody else. I went to Shunfa Hair, trying to go direct to factories that only spoke in Mandarin and basically a little bit of English. And so it was very difficult for me to communicate with those people and they'd always make mistakes and it was time consuming. Then I found lordhair.com, and I don't mean to sound like an ad when I say this, but it's true. They sent me what I wanted exactly within 3 days, express, and it was included in the price. I know it sounds like I'm advertising Lord Hair all the time, but it's just easy for me to know, after all the shit and messing around that I had to go through all those other times, that when a company just sends it to you within 3 days, and it's exactly what you want, you're reluctant to go and spend hundreds of dollars experimenting with other companies. So that's why I sort of stopped. I can't remember if I used Hollywood Lace or not. I did try Top Lace. I gave it a review. I gave it an unfavorable review because I must have ordered a custom piece from them that took 8 weeks. That's a long time. Like 40 days. That's a lot of waiting. And you go to the letterbox and check, has it arrived there or anything? No, it hasn't. Of course it hasn't. Don't even do your head in checking for it. You got to make the phone calls. Did it get lost in transit through one of the postal services between their country and my country? It's just too much of a headache. Whereas Lord Hair sends it express and I just knock on the door. This is your package to sign here. Okay, thanks. Within a week. So stock pieces are the way to go as far as I'm concerned because of the speed of getting it done. And just guessing your hair colour. Unless you've got some obscure purpley grey with sort of highlights of green in your hair, they've probably got your hair colour in their menu of 30 or whatever, how many colours they've got, just ready to be sold and given to you. So this is S22 medium dark brown, which is colour number 4. Colour number 1 would probably be jet black, going all the way up to say, say colour 30 or something, which would be light blonde. Ideally, you could, I've discussed this many times over the years with people, if you had blonde, then the root's perfect, right? And then if you could just dye your hair to whatever colour you wanted, then the roots would be perfectly uniform all the way through. But how much effort would that be, trying to avoid painting the roots when you're trying to dye your hair the colour of your own hair? And can you actually achieve dyeing your own hair? Can your hairdresser get it right? How much is that going to cost? So I found the cheapest thing to do to avoid the wall of hair effect that comes with poly, or even lace doesn't really have a wall of hair effect unless you get a very thick density. So with poly, because I've got light skin, not anymore, it's tanned, right? But with poly, if you've got light skin to dark hair, you're going to have a wall of hair suddenly just making everything messed up, right? So what you need to do is bleach along just with the hair bleach that I've got, peroxide. You get it for $15 from eBay or from the supermarket. And you just bleach in all around along the front. Do this, you can do it while you're wearing your hair, but then you've got to scrub off the stuff that will burn your skin if you don't resolve it and then have a shower and stuff, which is how you would normally use hair product, right? But then I found it peels back at the front because it sort of destroyed the glue, all that peroxide chemicals and stuff, and then you've got to sort of push it down and glue it back down again. So you might as well do all your hair pieces at once while they're not on your head. And I didn't do all the way through the hairlines, all of it. I just did around the front roots here of the poly. You can't get underneath poly and peroxide the back of it like you would with lace to stop the dead ant effect of having unbleached knots. With poly, you're bleaching from the top, and then when I say the top, I mean the top of above the plastic where the hairs are coming out. So these hairs along here are all dark all the way along. V-loop, V-loop, foot V-loop, V-loop, V-loop. And you're just bleaching those so they become invisible. So that's why hairs, if you can see the colours here, go from blonde and then get into the darker ends back up here, see? See how that's blonde and that's dark brown? That's what I was able to achieve by bleaching those front bits. The other great thing about poly is absolute, almost, well, it's the easiest cleanup. It's so easy. If you don't want to use the tip of your thumb to peel off the edge of the plastic, you just get the palm of your hand, just go, and just drag all of that glue off with the palm of your hand. Just try not to stretch the plastic too much, otherwise you get a corrugated hairpiece. You don't want it to be bumpy and you're trying to glue those bits down. They keep popping up, you know, so keep it nice and taut without warping it. So I think this spray tan helps as well. The suit should help as well. I probably look a bit orange, but I'm hoping that after another shower, it won't look so bad. That's a extreme brushback look where the hairs were 6 inches long and I just went, wasn't worth it. You can only do one hairstyle with that. As you saw at the beginning of this video, I had a brush forward look. I could have just wet that and sort of just twinkled it out. Or I could do a brush back look. So that's with the hair's nose length instead of chin length. The nose length, top of the nose length, gives you the option of going brush forward or brush back. And the brush back is long enough that it holds as well. There's enough without going, I'm sticking up in the air like a rooster now. Just trying to think back on some of the comments. The front hairline keeps sucking to people. I don't know exactly how my front hairline differs from a normal human's front hairline at the moment. I've shown you a video recently of how this bit of overhang here on these two edges make it even more natural looking, because just letting it flop down there and there gives you that look of blending nicely into your face and making it look softer for you. So I mean, with the strength of how this is held on right now, I'd be fairly confident to go skydiving. I've said this before, but I haven't put my money where my mouth is because I don't really want to jump out of a plane. I think I'll wipe my teeth out with a fake tan. I don't really want to jump out of a plane, but I would. I might do it in the future. What else do you want to know? I wish I could get some live questions on the screen. What do you want to know? Why are you such a faggot? Because I did musical theatre for a long time, and I just I hung out with a lot of gay people, and they've got a certain, you know how African Americans have their own kind of dialect often. They have surrounded themselves with their own kind enough that their speech patterns are different. It must be the same with gay people. It's not like, "G'day mate, how you going? You know what? I think I'm going to be a faggot from now on. Oh my god, this is the way I talk now. I can't believe it. Oh my god, I sound so different." I think that's more of a cultural thing rather than oh my god, my genes are making me speak really funny and there's nothing I can do to stop it. I don't know, because I've met gay people who just seem like blokes and they don't talk like that. So I don't know, maybe there's a bit of that, you know, limp-wristedness in my personality. Also, I think when you've got thin wrists from not ever doing any exercise, it makes you seem gayer. What else? Why are you such a try-hard wigger motherfucker? I don't know, I like black culture. I'm trying to do blackface right now. And I've heard this is a racist thing to do, to try and make yourself more black. Because my body, fuck off, right? I can do what I want. I'm browner than normal. And besides, this stuff isn't going to stay completely brown, hopefully, or orange, or whatever the fuck this is, by tomorrow. Think about this. Which black person owns the patent on their colour of skin? Which one? Who's in charge of skin colour? Right? If I want to be a different colour, or of a different gender, or a different sexuality, it would be only people who are like witch hunters who would try to stop me. Because what am I doing to hurt anybody else by changing my own appearance? Nada. What other questions you got? Why is your dick so small? Well, basically, when I had an accident, they were circumcising me as a baby, and they just took off a bit too much. That's why I ended up... Oh, you didn't. I shouldn't have said that out loud. Next question. Why does your hairline suck so bad? Do you really think it sucks so bad? Is it really that bad? I mean, I can see the transitional point at which my brown skin turns a bit paler into the front hairline, but I don't see the failings of the hairline like you do at this point. If I pulled it all back and it was forced, of course, poly's not going to have the exact effect of being perfect like lace does on day one in wintertime. But I assume people who are complaining about poly being less realistic than lace don't know about its cleanup and ease of use, etc. maintenance. And they don't understand how much poly sucks in summertime with the glue shining through and having to peel off all this stuff at the front after every single fucking shower. So much harder. This stuff, I don't have to touch up or look in the mirror or anything to check that my hairline's fine after a shower, especially with Walker Tape Ultra Hold, which is acrylic glue and it doesn't care about water. The only thing that causes a problem with any glue underneath poly is the sweat that comes out of your head and creates a barrier of sweat between your scalp and the glue. When I've shown you in previous videos the hairline becoming weaker hold because of that sweat, it's not because the glue has separated from the poly or the lace, it's because the scalp has got a layer of sweat before the glue, which makes the whole thing, glue and unit, become weaker because of that layer between. Now I've tried two different types of sweat resistance, no sweat and Max Pro Sport, and they had zero effect basically. What other questions have you got for me? Just ignore the haters, man. Nah, I think I just heard something about what people are attracted to in clickbait and anger. If there's no emotion stronger than anger that makes people want to click. I mean, I got 300 views in less than one day already for this. My response to your hairline sucks. That's probably my record in terms of day one going forward. I don't know why. I mean, my thumbnail shot was not very interesting. It was just a photo of me pausing or some shit like that, right? And then it said, my response to your hairline sucks. That's all I did. And so 300 is a lot. So I should probably try harder to fight with you people to get more people involved in the battle. Good versus evil. Did any of you ever want to be Darth Vader or, you know, Skeletor as a kid when you were playing? Like, why would you choose the bad guys? I know it's fun. But I mean, the good guys are the ones who matter. And you know in the end they're going to win. So, just have a look at this hairline again. If there's any gap back here, that's something that I wouldn't cut all this back. I'd just put some topic in there if I really cared. Probably. Because I don't want to have to get to the point where I'm doing all this stuff. That seems much harder than what I'm doing right now. And I'm sorry that I can't help a lot of you with the back part, which is most probably hair wearers have to cover the bald spot all the way through. But I would seriously doubt that it's a good idea to have one there and a second one there. I would definitely, if I had to choose, shave all of that and then just do one piece, even if all of this hair in between was good. Having two hair pieces to worry about, it seems like extra work and problematic with density and brushing, because once this is on, I can just brush back completely. I don't even brush, oh shit, I've got to worry about this bit here, right? I think everybody would recommend that you don't have two hair pieces on one person's head, unless they're just two sideburns for a school play. That's the only time. I don't know. Anyway, there's a lot I can do with this length hair. I maintain my perspective that flopping these bits down around the side edges softens the hairline and makes any plastic straight across look more genuine. And lace, even though it looks really good on the first day, good luck maintaining that. It is a ton of effort. Whereas this looks, as far as I'm concerned, fine. Nobody outside the hair wearing community is going to notice or think it's weird. The only thing they'll think is weird, there's a giant Oompa Loompa walking down the street without singing his fucking song properly. Maybe they'll need to get a cattle prod and make me fucking sing Oompa Loompa, right? Oompa Doompa Doopity Doo, I've got another puzzle for you. That's about it. They were orange, weren't they? They were orange with green hair. Didn't they have like white lips or something as well? Is that black face or is that orange face? Am I being offensive more to Oompa Loompas now than to black people? Besides, we all come from Africa, right? The thing is, for me to get involved in American values, which don't relate to me at all, we hardly have any African people in Australia. Definitely not. They weren't coming here as slaves, as far as I understand. So, me talking about things that are offensive to Americans, just because you happen to represent the number one population of English-speaking people in the world, and so you're the people who sort of tune in, more than maybe people from Germany and Uzbekistan and Turkey and Tasmania and stuff like that. You know, how can people from foreign countries be blamed for being insensitive to the issues of other countries, the political correctness? And also, I would say it's an ambition of mine to remove political correctness from the face of the earth. I mean, this is George Orwell's nightmare coming true. People being fired now for being politically incorrect, even accidentally. Okay, so freedom of speech.